President Rigathi Gachagua slams political leaders over what he termed as sustained attacks on church leaders, challenging the government to first deliver to Kenyans.
Nikakumbuka neno la Mungu ambaye inasema kuna barabara ngumu sana ile ya kwenda mbinguni. Nikaona hii yenu inakaribiana na hiyo.
President William Ruto calls on Kenyans to give him more time to deliver, even as he defended the SHIFT program, maintaining it will make sure hospitals have sufficient medical provisions.
Mkipata ufadhili wa vitu kama wheelchairs, crutches zinasaidia sana.
Kenya joins the world in commemorating victims of road accidents with over 4,000 cases recorded so far this year, even as victims narrate their ordeal. And also tonight, we shed the spotlight on the challenges that have marred the rollout of the new health scheme as patients continue to bear the brunt of the skewed implementation. The Sunday Review begins right now. I'm Alan Owino. Our sign language interpreter for this session is Clement Moli. Now, our State Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has slammed political leaders over what he termed as sustained attacks on church leaders. Gachagua's sentiments come just a day after President William Ruto, despite firing back at the Catholic bishops, admitted to some of the challenges highlighted by the clergy, promising to sort them out, as Ian Ketanyi now files.
It is during a church service to celebrate 100 years of mission at the PCEA Mutero Church in Kajiado County. Our State Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, using the platform to castigate political leaders led by National Assembly Deputy Speaker Gladys Boss-Shule over what he termed as sustained attacks on church leaders.
We were very disappointed when our Catholic bishop spoke and we saw some members of parliament abusing them, lecturing them, talking down to our spiritual fathers. Those are anointed men and women of God, and we must respect them. I saw the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly lecturing Catholic bishops like children. Mimi nataka niambie nyinyi viongozi, acheni kiburi. Acheni kiburi.
Gachagua, while slamming them as prideful, called for respect for religious leaders. His sentiments echoed by Githunguri Lomeka Gathoni wa Mushomba, who lauded the clergy for standing with Kenyans.
The voice of the church is the voice of God. When our spiritual fathers speak, they don't just speak in vain. I don't think over 30 bishops can meet and do a statement from nowhere. That culture of intolerance, culture of being abusive to spiritual leaders, was there in the 1990s, in the last years of President Daniel Moi.
Na kanisa mumetufurahisha sana, kwa sababu wakati mumeona maovu inatendeka katika nchi yetu, mumeongea kama kanisa, na mukasema mumechoka na uongo, mukasema mumechoka na promises ambazo hazifiki.
Gachagua, who yesterday, for the first time since being ousted, attended the same function with President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta, took a dig at his former boss while calling for reduced taxation, his sentiments being echoed by Kajiado North MP Onesmus Ngogoyo.
Kama Rigathi Gachagua ndiye alikuwa shida, ndio mlikuwa mnaweka ushuru ikuwe juu, simpunguze sasa vile ametoka. Si iko namna hiyo? Yes. Hizi barabara zote zimesimama, kama Edi alikuwa amesimamisha, simumalize. Hata Uhuru Kenyatta, president wetu, jana alisema yeye anaangalia TV, anasikiza radio. Hata mimi naangalia TV, nasikiza radio.
Mimi naomba kwa sababu walimtoa haraka, pia waharakishe kutengeneza hiyo barabara na waeke pia pesa haraka kulingana na ile mipango tulikuwa tumefanya.
With his close allies alleging a plot by the state to stop the impeached DP from attending church functions, Gachagua cautioned the man in uniform against being used politically.
Kiati machifu na polisi wanaambiwa ati wakuje kujua ati mambo ya Samuel. Nyinyi machifu na polisi, endeni kwa kazi yenu. Msitumiwe vibaya, hiyo hapana kazi yenu. Kama mnataka kuja kwa sermon, mkuje mhubiriwe, muokoke, muingie kanisani. Si ndio? Yeah, let's allow the Church of Christ, let us respect the freedom of worship, respect the freedom of expression, freedom of speech in our places of worship.
Ian Keitani, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Once again, President William Ruto has defended the new SHIF medical insurance, stating that the cover aims to ensure there's universal health coverage for all Kenyans in all public health facilities. According to the president, SHIF was introduced to ensure accountability in the management of public hospitals, allowing Kenyans the right to know how government funds are utilized in these facilities. And as Electa Inodera now reports, President Ruto seems to be yielding to pressure from Kenyans vying to bring change in his leadership. He, however, defended the broad-based government, saying it is a testament of the unity being witnessed in the country.
In recent days, President William Ruto has found himself at crossroads in handling matters bedeviling the nation that have been raised by Kenyans. And today, the head of state appears to be yielding to pressure following a recent statement by religious leaders that has left the government on edge.
Na wakati nimetembea na hiyo barabara nikakumbuka neno la Mungu ambaye inasema kuna barabara ngumu sana ile ya kwenda mbinguni. Nikaona hii yenu inakaribiana na hiyo.
The president says he will ensure he works with all stakeholders to achieve universal health care.
We will work with every stakeholder to make sure that this affordable health, universal health coverage succeeds. Tayari kwa yale mahospitali tumemobilize resources kama serikali. We have paid 5 billion shillings. We are paying another 2.5 billion this week, and we are going to make sure that all our public facilities are funded so that they can roll out our universal health coverage na kila Mkenya afikiwe.
Speaking during a church service at Soweto Catholic Church in Nairobi, the president said previously NHIF discriminated against Kenyans, but the current SHIF system will ensure all hospitals have sufficient medical provisions.
Ile madawa inatusumbua katika mahospitali. Katika mpango huu, mahospitali kila dispensary sasa wananchi wenyewe watajumuika katika kuisimamia. Ndio wahakikishe ya kwamba ile pesa tunaleta kama serikali inanunua madawa na iko na hali ya matibabu katika hiyo hospitali, so that citizens themselves can be involved in the running of public facilities, especially health facilities pale chini.
Accompanied by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja and Majority Leader in Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah, the President defended his move to unite with former opposition leader Raila Odinga in an otherwise broad-based government, saying it has brought unity in Kenya.
Mambo ya hapa katikati ni mambo tu ya kawaida. Mambo ya kawaida. Kazi yangu ingine ni kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Hatutaki kubaguana, mambo ya ukabila tumesema no, maneno ile ya kusema mirengo tuachane naye. Ndio mnaona hata saa hizi tuko katika broad-based government na tunaendesha hii broad-based tukibroaden, ikiendelea na kuwa broad. Ndio kila mtu aingie hapo ndani tutembee pamoja.
He defended the CBC system of education, maintaining it is being well run. Governor Sakaja urged Kenyans to give the president enough time to implement development projects, with the majority leader Kimani Ichung'wah assuring the head of state of Kenyans' unwavering support.
Hatunusi harufu mzuri katika taifa letu inaanza kuja. There is an aroma of good work happening. Your Excellency, we need to give you time. You have only been president for 2 years. 2 years. If you look at other governments, they took time.
Sio ati Wakenya wanakukimbiza na miaka miwili na kumekuwa na marais wengine. Wakenya pia ni watu wa imani, wako na imani. Wewe uko na nguvu na uwezo wa kubadili maisha ya Wakenya.
This comes just a few days after religious leaders issued a hard-hitting statement to the president, stirring emotions among Kenyans, pushing the government to address the issues raised. In today's service, the president promised to bring changes in, among others, the health and education sector. Electa Inodera, K24 TV.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki now says the government is not in war with the church, considering that the church and the views of Kenyans in general help to build the nation. Speaking at AIPCA Church in Kirinyaga County, Kindiki said the government considers the views of Kenyans in fulfilling its agenda. Robbie Omondi with the details.
Kithure Kindiki has lauded efforts by churches to critique the government, saying it is a contributing factor to better leadership.
Sisi tunajua ya kwamba serikali za kiulimwengu, serikali za hapa ulimwenguni zinaongozwa na wanadamu. Na wanadamu saa zingine ile bidii yetu haikuangi kamili. Ni kweli ama si kweli?
His sentiments come a few days after Catholic Church leaders pointed a finger at the government for failing to listen to views of Kenyans and continuing to pass laws that oppress Kenyans.
We have no problem with the input provided by the church, civil society, other non-governmental agencies, and we welcome also the views of all members of society, older people, younger people, men, women, everybody. They have a right to give us views on how we can improve our governance and make our country work better for the sake of the people of Kenya.
Speaking at the AIPCA Church in Kirinyaga County, Kindiki said that the government projects such as health and education are a priority and are set to be a success since the government has put into consideration the views of Kenyans.
Bilebile, katika masuala ya elimu, katika kubadilisha ule mfumo wa elimu kutoka ule wa zamani kuingia huyu mpya wa CBC, matatizo hapa na pale. Na mambo mengine mengi ambayo serikali hii inaendelea kuanzisha ili kuboresha maisha ya watu wetu wa Kenya. Matatizo yaliyomo, tukizikizana kama taifa, tukiheshimiana kama taifa, tutaweza kuyatimiza na kumaliza yale matatizo na kuboresha maisha ya watu wetu.
Stressing on the importance of peace and fight against corruption, Kindiki to unite and
boresha umoja wa nchi yetu ni kuishi kwa amani na kupendana na kujua ya kwamba hakuna mtu amechagua mahali amezaliwa. So I just want to repeat, as we were advised yesterday by President Ruto and retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, let's build our country. Let us moderate our divisions and let's look at the things that put us together.
Robbie Omondi, K24.
Joseph Kaiguru, a 27-year-old gentleman, was once hopeful of greener pastures when he left home on a motorbike for a job interview. However, he ended up on a hospital bed at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital with a fractured leg and arm. It's been 21 months now with no job, and the future seems bleak for Kaiguru. As the world commemorates victims of accidents, hopeful patients of accidents with fractured bones at the PGH Hospital in Nakuru are an indicator that you are one road mistake away from being like them. Mumbi Wambugu with the details.
Nairobi highway has taken far too many lives. According to NTSA, at least 300 people in Nakuru County have died this year. Accidents along this road have turned around once, promising lives. Kaiguru Joseph, for instance, an electrician by profession, thought he would come back as an employee of a water company when he left home for a job interview in February 2023.
Oncoming lorry ikanimulika na full light, then nikaona dim, nikavia off na pikipiki, nikaanguka kwa ditch. Hivyo ndio niliweza kugonga post ya stima, ilikuwa kando ya barabara, nikavunjika mguu and my right arm.
On another bed at PGH, Janet Nyambura is writhing in pain. Her leg fractured on 3 points. 2 months ago, a road accident nearly took her life. Alongside her neighbors, the accident has left her life stagnated on this bed.
Kabla hiyo tukio, mimi huwa nafanya kazi ya hair salon. Ni mimi naishi na familia yangu, naishi na mzazi wangu. So kuanzia siku hiyo mimi huwa natafuta rent. Nimekuwa nikisaidia tu na majirani.
The accidents along the Nakuru highway have rarely spared reckless driving. Patrick Kamama tries to bend his already broken leg and fractured shoulder as he tries to find a position to narrate how an overtaking tractor turned his life around.
Sijaitoka kwa kitanda. Kwa hivyo nikiwa na kitu inaweza nisaidia na nitaweza kumove kidogo. Ndio hata akili zinakaa ziko timamu. Lakini zimekaa zimelala kwa sababu ikiwa ni asubuhi nyingine mpaka saa kwenye wataniambia wamenirelease.
Dr. James Wawero, the medical superintendent at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital, has for sanity a lot of accidents in the facility is worrying.
Sisi kama hospitali tunapokea wagonjwa wengi sana wa accident. Na sana tunapata wale wenye wanapata spinal injuries. Usually it's wanachukua muda mrefu sana ku recover.
First respondents like Rachel Maru are mostly forgotten right after an accident despite their selfless efforts. She speaks on the trauma she has faced over the years. She's also calling on the government to quickly expand the highway.
Hata yule mtu mwenye napenda kuongelea, mtu mwenye ananipenda, nampigia simu, tunaongea, tunachat, tunacheka. Lakini kama kuna mtu mlikosana alafu mpatane naye na ulikuwa unatoka kwa ajali, unaweza kujua. Lakini nyama siwezi kula usiku wiki mzima.
CEC for Roads and Transport in Nakuru County, Michael Kamau, has said there is need to offer support to first responders. He has said a budget of 5 million has already been set aside to improve During the commemoration of accident victims in Nakuru County, NTSA alongside other stakeholders made a procession from the CBD to BGH where walking aids including wheelchairs and crutches were donated to road accident victims.
And it's not for those who have died that we are preaching this gospel today. It's for those who are alive today, who are continuously using the roads every day, that we call upon each and every one of us in our homes to teach our young ones the responsibility of safety on the roads.
If it is taking you 1 hour, don't plan for 1 hour. Plan for 2 hours so that you can reach your destination in good time. And again, it is even better to be late and reach and arrive at the destination instead of trying to rush and you do not reach.
Mumbi Wambogo, K24 TV, Nakuru County.
Still on the same breath, this year alone, Kenya has recorded over 4,000 road fatalities, just shy of 4,500 lives lost last year. And as Bentura Komboka reports on today's World Remembrance Day of Road Traffic Victims, a Branch 7 mobile unit has been set up by transport stakeholders to aid in rescue and response to accidents.
As the world commemorates World Remembrance Day of Road Traffic Victims, Kenya has been ranked among top 12 countries globally and 6th in Africa, leading in accident mortalities, standing at a rate of 28.2 per every 100,000 road users. Statistics that have been attributed to human error, where annually Kenya loses an average of over 3,000 people, majority being pedestrians and motorcyclists.
It's not about the statistic. It's about that there is a story behind in our neighbors, in our communities, that's the reality that you are losing life. The figure and the number that you are having here, times 10 lost life last year. 85% it is because of human error. And the most thing that we can honor the deceased, those that have left us because of road accident, is making sure that no more fatality in our roads.
A loss that impacts the economic sector that loses over 310 billion shillings annually in road accidents.
Economic loss due to road traffic crashes in Kenya is estimated at about 5% of the GDP every year, amount to an annual loss of 3.1 billion US dollars, or approximately 310 billion shillings. Majority of these incidents are behavior-related factors and most result from the 6 fatal behaviors, which include speeding, reckless driving, lane indiscipline, drink driving, drink walking, drink riding, lack of wearing a seatbelt, driver fatigue, and failing to follow road signs, among others.
Following this, stakeholders in the transport industry have introduced the Branch 7 mobile units for response and rescue efforts as they call on NTSA to benchmark and inculcate road safety curriculum in schools.
Branch 7 for us is a mobile unit where wherever you are around the country, if for instance you have an accident and there is a rescue that is needed, us and our team through the Branch 7 are usually the first to respond to such calls.
This year alone, 119 people lost lives in road accidents in Machakos County, as compared to 196 in 2023. NTSA is in the process of strengthening regulations as well as reviewing, including the automation of motor vehicle inspection process, increasing road safety audits, and operationalizing county transport and safety committees to improve road safety at the county level. Bentura Kwamboka for K24 TV, Nairobi.
Well, Bentura Kwamboka report brings us to a fast break right here on the Sunday Review. We'll be back with more in a short while.
I know mkona talents, lakini mkona vibe. It's time to discover East Africa's newest talent. Ni mda wa Kenya kuchachisha. Anguka nayo kati toka, utuonyeshe hizi stunts zako. Africa's biggest talent show, Bongo Star Search, is coming to Kenya. Stand a chance to win amazing prizes and work with the biggest names in entertainment. My judges, wakiongozwa na Rita, Master J, Salama Jabir, and our very own Sanaipe Itande, watakuwa pale tukicheka na tukilia. Tulieni mpangwe wasee. From Majenzi hadi Wakoro, students na corporates, jitokeze tujue nani